Now you can search for new episodes by subject matter at londonreal.tv. Brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform we use at London Real.
To those people, military authorities who think tactically, they see that as a threat to our national security. But it used to be before Cheney, before 9/11, before Cheney got to rewrite everything in the Department of Defense, we understood that grand strategy or those larger interests. And that's why the genius of our Constitution by separation of powers and placing the civil authorities above the military and requiring them to act as civil authorities and not acting as if they're part of the military, like this commander-in-chief theory does, gave us the greater wisdom of realizing that the true national security of a nation includes its economic well-being, being able to educate its population, and that's what really makes for a nation's greatest strength, and then to, of course, use it responsibly, versus these tactical thinking that, let's go into this other nation, beat them up, kick ass, as some people like to say. Neocon commentators used to always talk about kicking some other nation's ass, as they put it, and thinking that's what made us strong.
So that ultimately hurts us, having all those power presences.
That hurts us. And here you can see it in no better terms. And we just cut in the proposed budget, and I don't have the exact numbers. I'll feel close. I think it's $22 billion for food stamps or something like that in the U.S. budget, and at the same time there's a corresponding increase for more military spending of like $24 or $26 billion. So we're at that stage now, because of the economic realities, that now we're having to steal from the domestic economy to continue giving it over to what Eisenhower called the military-industrial complex to keep these, perpetual state of war going, so that we can then justify even more authoritarianism at home. It's a vicious circle that does not end well,
so
ordinarily.
You're happy that Snowden made these revelations, but your fellow Americans aren't taking their lack of privacy very seriously, is what you're saying.
And again, I hate to even use the term lack of privacy. Again, it's what's necessary for us to keep oversight over these people without fear. I mean, again, losing privacy means that we have to be more fearful of, and writers have said, myself, what I'm saying now, to some authoritarian like my former friend, still friends, the guy who's to take him out and shoot him, he'd probably see this as some form of disloyalty. I mean, again, because of that authoritarian mind. But the other population that has to be concerned is the global population. Why are they giving up global democracy, giving it over? You got to realize how draconian, totalitarian Dick Cheney really thinks. He and Paul Wolfowitz wrote way back in 1991 what was called the Draft Planning Guidance, asserting, asserting that the United States now exercise global military domination over the world, and we would not tolerate anyone, even our allies, to have the means to question our policies. That was leaked by somebody from within the Pentagon, and of course even our allies most vigorously objected. We were telling Britain that we're not going to tolerate anything that might contrast our policies. And so they pulled it back, rewrote it a little bit, not meaningfully, and it was out there yet. Dick Cheney, when he came back into power as vice president, wrote following, and again, there's ample evidence out there that they were planning the war on Iraq even before 9/11. General Wesley Clark pointed that out, that they had a plan to take down 7 different Arab countries, following Richard Pearl's recommendation of fragmenting the Mideast. But in the end of 2001, Dick Cheney wrote the introduction to the Quadrennial Defense Review, and amongst the threats he identified to the United States were what he called anti-access threats. And what he meant exactly, does that mean any nation that would not allow Halliburton to come in and exploit the oil resources of that nation to the detriment of the people of that nation? Was that an anti-access threat, or would not allow a pipeline going through? And quite honestly, I suspect that that's really what he meant.
Okay.
Anybody that did not submit to what he had called, created this idea of global military domination from his 1991 paper, was written of as an anti-access threat.
Okay. We take real pride in our websites and who we work with on the show, and those are the guys at Squarespace. They've been running our website londonreal.tv and our siliconreal.com for over a year now, and they are an all-in-one platform to make it fast and easy to build your own professional website or portfolio. These guys have the tech down. It's drag and drop. It is easy. I used to run a WordPress site, and I used to have to FTP audio files and all this nonsense. And now when you see these blogs that I write every week where I talk to you about my personal impressions of the guests, I literally just bust those out, drop the picture in, boom, and it's done.